Welcome to the Rec Room Podcast. I'm gonna wait for the fellas to get in. I'm gonna load up this music, and then we gonna get to it. AG,
How's it going?
yes sir, yes sir. It's good to have you back, bro.
Man, good to be back.
What's going on with you?
Man, healing up and ready to get into a lot to talk about today. My goodness.
For sure, bro. I'm trying to load this music up. Get into it.
Ready for it.
I see you join. Now I'm waiting for T Streets.
Mm-hmm. You'll be here. You'll be here 7:59.
He usually the first person, man. This we doing the order different tonight. It's usually him, then it's you, and then we know who got to make the grand entrance.
Yeah,
we already know.
You know, Trey got to come in talking about his perfume, his cologne,
yeah,
and his open shirt, even though it's a podcast.
T Streets.
You.
Hey,
what's good with you?
Chilling. What's going on?
Same old same, man. Had a busy ass week. The last 2 weeks been super busy. I don't know why, but I'll take it. The weather starting to get the weather's getting better than what it's been, but we still haven't got like no consistent super warm weather. But I'll take anything 50 degrees and above. I take
bang, bang, bang.
For sure.
there he is.
There you go.
Hey, look. Hey, listen, man. First of all, the weather's fantastic.
Jay. Fantastic. Trey. It's fantastic.
It's fantastic, bro. Listen, it could be worse.
True.
It could be worse for the season. It's about to break. It's probably gonna be like 85 degrees next week.
I wish, bro. We was talking about what we wanted to know what fragrance you got on, man.
So I just ordered. Man, listen. Let me tell y'all, Naxos, man. Listen, my birthday is May 1st. Everybody send your brother some Naxos. Okay.
I've never heard of that, bro.
Bruh, that dog it's okay. So this is how a young lady described this certain fragrance called Naxos, right? It's a niche fragrance. So, you can't buy it in regular stores. She says it's something that a mob boss would wear, right? So I laughed at the quote. I laughed at the actual quote. Bro, when you smell this fragrance, bro, it's the best smelling cologne that I've ever. Now the bottle is a little expensive, but that's okay. But once you smell it, bro, fantastic.
It's an all season. It's all
season, bro. It is all season. Listen, man, we're gonna have niche fragrance segments coming up. We're gonna have designer fragrance segments coming up. Just stay tuned, man.
I'll take it. So
we in the rec room. We do it all in here, baby.
I'm gonna stop the music. Y'all ready to get into it?
Let's do it.
Dessert.
All right. So I'd like to welcome everybody to the Rec Room Podcast.
Yep.
We got AG. He was missing the action last part, but he's here this part. What's good, AG? We got T Streets in the building. We got Trey, and we got your host, which is me. I go by E or E1, whichever one you want to call me. And tonight, I think this is episode number 9. I'm having a problem with my math lately, but I think this is number 9, I believe. And so the next part will make us be in the double digits. Tonight's part is going to be we're going to touch on some current events, and I'm hoping that we can actually get into what the second part of the part, and that's going to be we're going to focus on UFOs. It's been a lot of sightings lately, or at least there's probably always been sightings, but it's been more, I guess you could say, publicized as of late. And we're gonna get into what who believes in that and who doesn't, and what UFOs and stuff is all about. I remember back in the day, my friends was telling me about it, and I was a disbeliever. But now I am a believer in
Yeah.
actual UFOs, and we're gonna get into that later. But so yeah, so the first thing that I wanted to touch on is of course, unless you've been living under a rock, then everybody knows that it's been through the years, it's been a lot of, especially lately, a lot of mass shootings and school shootings. And last week, I think it was, I don't know if it's Monday or Tuesday, but there was another mass shooting, right? And this one occurred in Nashville, Tennessee. And I'm going to just read what happened, okay? So it says, Nashville is mourning after a gunman killed 6 people at a private Christian elementary school Monday before being killed by police. The victims were 3 adults who worked at the school and 3 9-year-old students. Police identified the shooter as a 28-year-old Audrey Hall, a former student, who entered the school through a side door armed with 2 assault-style weapons and a handgun. The shooter had written a manifesto laying out plans for the attack that included maps of the building. But no motive has been established, at least when this was written. Monday's massacre was the 129th mass shooting in the United States this year alone, including 13 school shootings. That is horrible, and I just want to say, first of all, rest in peace to the people who were killed, and prayers out to the families that are dealing with that, because I couldn't imagine
Absolutely.
it.
Absolutely.
I don't know what's going on, and so I'm gonna get one of y'all to take the floor because this is crazy.
AG, go ahead. Go ahead, AG.
So me and Trey actually were talking about this as this was happening live, right? And I kind of told him, look, here, what makes our podcast different is that you have 4 people coming together with our point of view, what we've been through. And not only we talk about what's going on, but, clarifying what's going on so there's no confusion. We also come up with solutions to the problem, right? And what we do and what we've done. And, I like to look at numbers first when I find out what's going on, because numbers usually tell the story. Like if you follow the numbers and you follow the money, everything will be told to you in this country, right? Something that stood out with what you just said, E. And upon my research, up to date, we're not even like 100 days into this month, this new year, and there's already been 131 mass shootings, which is crazy to think. So,
and the definition of mass shootings, AG, is 4 or more people. It's 4 or more people. Yes.
Right. Get hit. Thank you for clarifying that, because
no problem.
Any shooting that happens is a travesty, regardless of where it is, right? What's interesting is, again, following the numbers, certain numbers when it comes to crime and killings are down when it comes to the cities. So the places that typically have these type of issues are having a drop. But what's disturbing, to say the least, is it's rising in other communities when it could be dropping. It's actually rising. And in these places that typically don't see this kind of issue. Either way, I looked it up because Trey challenged me. Trey just flat out said, we got to get rid of the guns and the assault rifles. And I was like, man, I don't think that's what it is. But I looked it up, and, we have in the U.S. the highest gun rate per 100 citizens per capita in the world, where for every 100 people, there's 120 guns. Now, comparing that to the second and third countries that have it the highest, it's Yemen and Serbia, and they don't even reach half. So our numbers are ridiculous, man. And the gun deaths overall was 49,000 back in 2021. Half of those were suicide, half of those are homicide. So the question I ask us is, okay, those are the numbers. Why does this happen? You know what I mean? This is something that happens it doesn't almost. It happens on a daily basis now. So I like to be like, okay, why is this stuff happening? Because we know the how. Why is this stuff is happening? What can we do about it?
Well, I'm gonna throw out. So I looked up. I don't know what site this was where I got it from. I can't quote the source, but it says that in 2014, right, it was 273 mass shootings. We go all the way. I'm not going to do every year, but basically it's increased almost every year. So 2014, 273, and then we get to 2021, and it's 690. So that's quadruple.
Correct.
So when I think about a reason, right, that's tough. I don't have a straight answer, but I'm gonna take it to in a spiritual aspect, right? And I believe that in my opinion, it's good and it's evil, right? And I think that a lot of people aren't grounded. And when I say spiritually, everybody's not going to believe in God, or everybody may have just may be in high spirituality. But regardless, I believe that when you don't believe in something positive, then negative things creep in you and into your spirit and into your mind. And when it boils down to it, you'll hear a lot of people, the ones who survive and stuff like that, because a lot of them get killed when they do it, but they'll talk about hearing voices.
Yeah.
And something told them to do it. And that's real to me. And to me, hearing voices mean that you have let spirits into you. Not let, I won't say let, but somehow spirits have entered you, and negative energy is in your soul, and you're acting out from what demons are speaking to you. That's my opinion on it.
I mean, so what's funny, like I look at what commonality these people had, right? A majority of the time people have been bullied or feel like they've been ostracized or picked on, right? Another thing I found, and so I used to believe in this wholeheartedly, that a majority of these shooters, what they also had in common is they all used to take drugs for ADHD or anxiety. So one of the side effects of these drugs, or a few of these side effects, include suicidal thoughts. You know, what you just said about hold on, like hearing voices kind of deal. And I believe that. I definitely believe that, whether it be chemically induced, that you allow yourself to be open, or, you know, the bullying kind of drives you to that point where, you know, it's the F it button is being pressed. You know, I also think that when you had the Columbine situation that took place, the Columbine massacre, that was the starting point to where you created some rock stars, where these kids were bullied. They came up with a game plan, quote unquote, and they executed. And in the process, what you've done is everybody that fits that description now has a game plan of, okay, that's what you do. Because the next mass shooting that I can recall was the Virginia Tech. And he was in the same aspect. He was methodical in his planning. He was well prepared. And he referenced the Columbine shooting. And, you know, I always, you know, like I've heard this quote before, which was, the Columbine shooting was the start of the communication, or the start of the conversation. And the end of the conversation was Sandy Hook, because those were little children. So if there was ever a time to outlaw guns or do some gun control, that would have been the beginning, and that would have been the end of that conversation. So
that's never going to happen.
I can't agree more. I don't think it's going to happen in this country at all. I could not agree more.
T Streets.
Let's see. On this topic, I believe in the hearing voices part that you was talking about. I hear voices, so I believe it. I hear voices, and my voices tell me, mine tell me, Terrence, relax. You're going a little too far. Don't say what you're thinking. And because of that, I'm not going to say what I'm thinking, because it's really bad. This is too far. I'm going to say some things, but not on this topic, because it's really insensitive, and I don't want to. I'll be insensitive later, so I'll let y'all handle this topic.
I can dig it. Trey.
Yeah, man. So just to get back to the definition, I was talking with my brother AG about. So it says a mass shooting is a crime in which an attacker kills or injures multiple individuals simultaneously using a firearm. There is a lack of consensus on what constitutes a mass shooting, but most definitions include a minimum of 3 or 4 victims of gun violence, not including the shooter in a short period. So that's a definition of it. So it's definitely a culture that we have in this country, and it's pumped up by the media, and how they make the people, the shooters, rock stars, just like AG said. It's sensationalized where they want to go out with a bang, unfortunately. You know what I'm saying? No pun intended. Just like with the Joker, with the guy that shot up the movie theater. So
Colorado, yep.
So their faces are all over the place. The girl, we can, whatever the issue was, hearing voices, taking the pills, whatever. These people are super conscious of what they're doing. They're very, very calculated. She made a post about, this will make sense later. It's not going to be good. It's going to be bad. So, of course, there's something wrong with a person that would do something like that. But these people have just, they have detached themselves from society, right? Obviously, they don't see anything positive in their future, but at the same time, they want to make you feel how they feel, and so they want to do the most heinous. Instead of blowing their own goddamn brains out, they want to go and destroy other people's lives. They want to. Yo, I have a 9-year-old. You understand what I'm saying? So I can't imagine how somebody else's family is feeling right now while we're on the podcast. And we don't have to do a podcast. We get to do a podcast. It's a privilege for us to us to have a platform where we can at least get on here and actually talk. So I'm gonna show respect to these people who one of the guys that got murdered. This guy was a freaking janitor. This guy has 7 kids, 14 grandkids. He's in there doing his goddamn job and gets murdered. Right? So the fact that the word legal and illegal, whatever goes on, the gun debate, it automatically becomes political within 5 goddamn minutes instead of worrying about these people's families. Right? We've always had a gun culture since before we was born, and after we gone, it's going to be a gun culture here. It's a European culture. It's all about it's all about protecting yourself. The whole thought process is protect yourself from other nationalities. That's been the whole thing. I'm gonna have as many guns as I need, and then I'm gonna go get me some more guns. You understand what I'm saying? But the problem is, if you have people that are under treatment for any type of mental issue, the girl's mother said the girl walked out the house with a bag. The bag was full of freaking guns, but the mom is like, "Okay, yeah, have a great day." If you under a doctor's care, you're under a doctor's care, right? Oh, she's on the doctor. She's walking out with a big ass goddamn duffel bag. She don't know where she's going. She just texts her homegirl. It says something going to be bad. Somebody got to communicate something to me. If I'm a parent, come on now. So then let's go from there to what a school should do, which they're not going to do. We need all type, but homegirl shot through the window. She shot through the glass and just walked in the goddamn school, and walked in the school and just started blasting people. So should we arm? Should I believe? I'm gonna say yeah on an armed teachers situation, because my kids.
Oh no, that's tough,
bruh.
That's tough. I don't want to cut you off.
Didn't you say ban
Hey.
guns?
Who, me? No.
No, that wasn't your point.
I
No.
don't think
Alex said that.
I don't think we should ban guns either.
Hell no, we shouldn't ban guns
No,
because the person
100%.
that could stop the killer won't have a
Right.
gun.
Yeah, because let me
You know
tell
what I'm
you
saying?
something. That's the greatest equalizer. You pull out an
Yeah.
alcohol, then we
Hey,
going
but hold
at it.
on. Hey, but hold on. So the people who get affected most by the guns being banned are the people who can stop the bad people. So
legal.
you feel what I mean?
Yeah, the
Yeah.
legal. Because look at what
Yeah,
we got.
the
We got
legal
DC,
ones,
right?
yeah.
Because look,
Yeah.
every time we got to drop off our things before we go to DC. Everybody who
Right.
carries, right? We never carry going into DC. We keep everything in the trunk, right? And we leave our
Yeah.
cars in Virginia or in Maryland, wherever we may be. We don't ever go fully loaded in DC unless it's that time, right? But we know what we're going to face because DC has the strictest gun laws. I will never get caught in DC with something on me because
Right.
of that, right? But guess where you sometimes need it the most is in DC. You know what I mean? So that's the irony of it all, right? Because I mean, it's not like they stopped making them. It's not like they stopped
Right.
bringing them in. You know what I mean? So that's why I personally don't think banning the guns is the solution.
I don't think banning guns is the solution at all. But
Right.
when I think about having teachers, this is what I'll say. I think that I don't know. I just think about that a teacher having a gun to me is very dangerous. I think that people should. I think in a school maybe you should have more police and security, but I'm not sure about having a teacher have a gun. And the only reason I say that is because I can only speak for when I was going to school.
Right.
And when I was in high school, the way that students talked to the teachers and acted toward the teachers,
True.
Crazy,
it
bro.
was ridiculous, right? And all I'm saying is, and what I'm saying is that everybody is human, right?
Right.
And if you get a teacher that, because you gotta look at it like this, because a person is an adult doesn't mean that they're mature. So you can have a teacher, but a teacher can be immature. So now you have a teacher that's in their 20s, right? Because teachers are young.
Right.
And he can't take that this high school kid is talking to him a certain type of way. He can still get into an emotion himself, pull out a gun and shoot a student. Sometimes the teachers and students are not that far apart in age.
True.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so with that, I'm
So I
saying
ain't
that
mean. Go ahead. Go ahead.
So with that, I'm saying that I think that it would be good to maybe have more.
Not all teachers
have security, but have the people who's supposed to have guns in that situation have them. I think that, of course, it would cost more money to have more police. I get it and stuff like that. But if you had a more trained professionals in the field of security or being police, that may help. But I'm not sure if teachers having the guns.
How crazy is it?
So
how crazy is it?
So let me
that
just
our
finish
children
that point.
gotta be filled out with freaking guns in front of them just to be safe. How bad are things?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So about the so not all the teachers, right? So somebody that can be trained in it, not like a young, fresh, new, you know what I mean? Because you're right about that point. I'm talking about somebody who's been vetted, who has prior gun experience, maybe, or somebody that we could just have in that school as some sort of administrator, but of course is concealed. But I would rather that or security, which they're not going to pay for, because they cheap unless something crazy happens. They always do it after something terrible happens is when they want to spend money. Right. So right. So what I was talking about was 1 or 2 teachers in the whole school. Right. Nobody knows who these teachers are, but these teachers are armed and they're concealed. They go through the same training that we do. Because listen, are we just going to keep doing the grieving thing afterwards and wish somebody did something before? Because but between the time that this lady blasted through those doors and she was down, I watched the video today. Actually, it took 14 minutes.
Wow.
But you know what, Trey? Not to cut you off, but I think that I understand what you're saying about having certain teachers, right? But to me, I don't know if that's a deterrent, right? And so if a person doesn't know who has the gun or whatever, now what I would like is probably a fantasy, right? But
Mm-hmm.
if people knew that when you go up in this school, that's just like, of course, this is not going to be the case, but I know that. But let's just say, like, a person is not going to go to the White House and start shooting for the
Right.
most part, right?
Right.
Because they know
Mm-hmm.
that soon as that happens, they're going to
Mhm.
get sniped or killed for the most
Mhm.
part, right?
Mm-hmm.
So yes, this is fantasy world, but if a person knows that when you go to this school, you got people waiting to
Mhm.
snipe you soon as you make a move,
Yeah.
then that would be a deterrent
Military
for.
law.
Yeah.
I mean, you know what I'm saying, but
Yeah.
that would be more of a deterrent, knowing that if I go to this school, soon as I set foot on this joint, they got
Mhm.
somebody on the roof, they
That's
got
gonna get
somebody
you.
net. Like I say,
Yeah.
that's fantasy world, right? I get it.
Right. Mm-hmm.
I'm
But
just speaking of
but
more of a deterrent.
y'all
That's all.
notice that this person ain't make it, right? And they typically capture these people if they don't kill
Yeah.
themselves. This person ain't make it. The police were like, F that. This is
Mhm.
going to happen. And I think I'm glad that there's body cam footage of that, because I think
Yeah,
like
bro.
the
I
same
watched
way,
it. I watched it.
right? The same way that people are being programmed that this is the path that you can take if you're under these circumstances and you're a rock star. Now it's
Mhm.
getting real to like, oh, maybe I shouldn't do that. If that can deter people, because now we got to give the green light. We can't I don't want to know why you did it. That's not going to solve anything. It should be like what you were talking about, prevention, being proactive versus reactive. But if it's to that situation where we have a live shooter event, that needs to be neutralized ASAP.
I'll
However,
say this. I'll say this. People are crazy.
True.
Some people are crazy. I don't think no matter what type of prevention you try, it's not going to help. It's going to happen. These things are going to happen. Nothing's going to stop it. I understand you want to try to come up with a reason or a solution. There's no solution for this. If there was a solution for this, it would have been done years ago, before we were born. There's no solution. The only thing is, well, personally for me, shit happens. Shit happens. It's unfortunate, and my heart goes out to everyone that passed away and for everyone that was there that survived but witnessed it. What they're going to go through mentally, but these things happen. There's no way to prevent it, in my opinion.
Well, I say this, right? So I think that there's no way. You're right. Like, I feel what you're saying. I be thinking like that too. Like, but we can still look at it from the standpoint as in, you may not be able to stop it completely, but maybe you can limit it, because if in 2014 there's only 200 something,
Mm-hmm.
and then in 2021 there's 600.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Something made that number. Maybe it's just life, and maybe it's the end of times, and it's all written, and this is just going to be what it is.
Mhm.
So I don't know if you it definitely would be hard to completely stop something, but maybe there can be
Heard it.
something to minimize it. What I would
Yeah.
also say is that with all of this going on, sometimes for me personally, it makes me think about hanging out before I go hang out. And I hate that. I hate having
Yeah,
to
bro.
I hate
Mhm.
having to be like,
That's real,
oh
though.
damn,
That's
should I
real.
really go here and hang out?
Mhm.
Now,
Mhm.
when I'm gonna be honest, when it's like these festivals, we all love
Mhm.
music, rap music, R&B music,
Mhm.
and these festivals are coming up. Like the Broccoli Festival
Mhm.
is a yearly festival that happens in DC, right?
Mhm.
And
Right.
everybody's favorite artist is at these festivals. I think
Mhm.
twice. I'm like, well, do
Yeah,
I really want to
bro.
go?
You have
seriously,
to.
like,
True.
do I
You
really want to
have
go?
to.
Like, I really want to go enjoy the music.
Yup.
But do I want to even be out here? Because anything can happen. I hate having to live like that. And I hate
Mhm.
having my son is 4
Mhm.
years
Yeah,
old. How's
bro.
it going to be
Yeah.
when he wants to hang out? God damn. You know
Absolutely.
what I mean?
Absolutely,
and it's just
bro.
like that shit right there
Mhm.
blows me. And it's like I think to myself, like, dog, you gotta enjoy life, but at
Yep.
the same time, you gotta be careful. So I'm stuck in this hard place where it's like, do I go out today? Do I not? And I hate doing that, man. I
Yeah,
want to
bro.
just be able to live. Of course, I want to take precautions, but goddamn, I got to worry about everywhere I go. That shit
Right.
blows me.
Yeah, yeah,
Right.
and check it out. So another really big another big thing with the same situation was they didn't call her a principal, but she basically was a head of the school.
She was in all of the school shooter meetings. She just had an ex-police officer come to the school. They just prepped for it. They just prepped for it. The guy who ran the prep, the ex-police officer, he did the interview. He was like, yeah, she would come to the meetings. She was murdered. Right? So people are aware. So T Street's absolutely correct. People are crazy. Well, you know what? I'm gonna try to do what I can do to at least eliminate from 1 death to 2 deaths to 10 deaths, right?
Yep.
So that's what I'm saying. If my child is going to school and I'm hearing about shooting at the school, the first thing I'm thinking about is stopping the shooter ASAP.
Yep.
ASAP. 14 minutes. You know how miraculous it was that it was not more deaths. That's what the guy was saying. He was like, the other teachers followed what they were just trained on to a T. Blocking the doors, going out certain doors, going through certain woods. They just went over this. I have 3 kids. When every school that I go to, when they're about to go to it, I'm the only parent that talks to them about school shootings. Because I understand people are crazy, just like T said. I'm thinking about the crazy motherfucker coming in here. That's what I'm thinking about. And so I'm thinking about, okay, cool. How can I stop as many people from dying as I can? That's where my mind, the curriculum, fantastic. I'm trying to keep some kids alive. Just like he said, when we was young, we had to think about that in the 80s, bro. We had to think about that. But how many times are we gonna just watch a school? It's like this shit is so normal. This shit is normalized. It's normal.
I won't say that we didn't.
It shouldn't be normal.
I won't say we didn't think about that. In junior high school, I don't know. Actually, I don't remember. It might have been because of the Rodney King thing and the riots that happened right afterwards. But when they put the metal detectors in Hammond, in Hammond Junior High.
Okay.
Oh yeah, I forgot about the metal detectors when schools were starting to get
and the police. You know, we had like a police or two might be on premises.
Right.
I didn't understand that because it wasn't like something. It wasn't like a shooting happened.
Right.
I think only thing I remember is the violence verdict and people getting crazy.
Yep.
Oh, we had a classmate end up going to two end up going to jail for a long time for robbery / homicide.
Okay.
Yeah. Because I even remember when Romolo got killed in our like during summer school and how things changed on that. But T and everybody to the point, right? I like to look at what has commonalities. And I remember when the plane hijackings happened, right? Like, because I remember I was flying a lot as a kid and growing up. And right when September 11th happened, 2001, I saw the airport security change completely. TSA was created, or it was beefed up. You know, you had a armed marshal in every flight. You had the pilot door completely closed, locked, bulletproof with a peephole. Like, there were protocols put together.
Right.
And I'll tell you what, I think there were maybe 1 or 2 or 3 attempts since then, and they've all been neutralized. You see what I'm saying? So, I mean, I like to look at I believe in fighting. Like, I just can't be like, well, it's just going to be a part of life. We gotta cut it off.
Fuck that, bro.
Yeah. Because let me tell you something, and it's the same thing. If they really were serious about the war on drugs, you got to hold people accountable and squeeze them. Oh, you bought your kid a gun? Guess where you're going? Oh, you weren't on top of your child? I don't give a care. You're going to jail. You're going to get fined. We're going to hit you in your pockets. We're going to freeze your money. I'm talking about that's the level.
That makes a difference.
Yep, that's the level, because now everybody's
accountability.
Now everybody's going to be on point with theirs. And if there's the slightest chance, you know what I mean, then you got to report. You got to do what you got to do. You got to go through the channels.
I got you, but how do you stop the 28-year-old woman that comes back to the school years later for whatever reason and do what she just did?
My understanding is she had mental health issues and she still purchased assault rifles. That's what I've read so far. So I think that maybe not doing away with guns, but maybe if you want to purchase a gun, you have to go through a course. You got to go through mental evaluation because, to drive a car, you got to go through something. And to own a gun, you don't. You just do a background check.
And so with that being said, with me knowing that law exists and me being inside of a school where these are the most helpless people on the face of the freaking earth. Right? Nobody in here can defend nothing. So we are depending on someone from the outside to come in and save us. Meanwhile, they out here shooting 40, 50 rounds a half a second. So in my mind, I'm like, yo, she was in there 14 minutes. It is amazing. Only 6 people, unfortunately, were killed. That like that amazes me. Shit. So just because they went through the actual drills is the only reason. But to me, if one person in there was armed, let's just say one person was armed, that could have, not saying it would have, but it could have stopped maybe 6 people. It could have just been one person. It could have been 3 people. But that person you go to the threat. I'm armed a lot. You go to the threat. You meet the threat where it is. And then we gonna see what's what. That's all it is.
True.
So that's my point on it.
So to for time's sake, we're gonna wrap up.
That was good though.
On this topic. You know it was. And
we just unpack the whole thing.
Yeah, right. And so my last words to that is just rest in peace to the fallen victims and just
absolutely.
prayers with the families. So we're gonna get to a lighter note. We're gonna get to a lighter note. You know what I mean? That was we're gonna get to a lighter note. And for those who don't know, BET is a black entertainment television, right? Shit. And BET
Tip drill, BET After Dark.
Yeah, right. So BET is up for sale, right? And they say that Diddy, Tyler Perry, Byron Allen, and other people are in the running. Now I don't know who owns BET at the moment. I know it was used
CBS,
to be.
I think.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It's a group. It's a group. It's a group.
Yes.
Okay. So, how do y'all feel about? Do you feel because BET is black entertainment television that African Americans should be the owner? Does it matter? Who is any particular person that y'all would like to see own it? T Streets, talk to me.
Well, it definitely matters because if it's not ran by someone black, then it's not black entertainment. It's just not.
Agreed.
I don't care if you put black entertainment on. It's not. It's not the real deal. It's not of the culture. It's not from the culture. But as far as who I would like to see get it, it doesn't matter to me. What I do think maybe should happen, instead of everybody fighting for it, maybe partner up. A couple of y'all partner up to get it.
Let's get it.
True.
Right.
Yep. They do it with sports teams.
No, it would be dope. I mean, it would be dope for whoever get it. You know what I'll say is like it's the same people that got money that get everything, and I'm that jealous.
It's the same niggas.
Oh, it's some new.
It's
That's
the same
the
niggas
same
that
5
get it, bro.
people. God damn, that's only people that got money. But it is what it is. What it is. That was just something to just pick up on. But today, I know y'all saw this. It says a grand jury in New York has voted to indict former President Donald Trump. And this will be the first time in American history that a current or former president will face criminal charges. Is he going to jail? Yes or no, man?
Not with this one, but with another case.
No.
He's got too many cases coming his way. And
now, what are they after him for right now?
They saying that it's because of
Stormy.
Stormy Daniels that he paid her
My
off
girl,
to say
Stormy.
something or something like
Stormy.
that.
Hey, Stormy. Hey, Stormy.
Former porn star.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I think they're saying that
Stormy.
he paid her to, I don't know, coerce some shit or something. Like
He
that.
paid it for the woo-wop. He got the
They
woo-wop.
trying, hey, look, they trying to get him on whatever they can get him on.
exactly.
Point blank, period. And until they get him on something, it's like they never gonna stop.
Bro,
So,
they
I
just
don't
don't
know,
want him
bro.
to run.
Hey, Stormy. Hey, listen, Stormy Daniels, listen to me.
You understand? Go ahead, AG.
So you think, hey Trey, your mind on something totally?
Nah, I'm just saying, like, listen, hey, listen, it's just like Al Capone.
Yep.
They couldn't get you on this. They got to get you on something.
Exactly.
I can't get you on this.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? It's the same thing. It's how. Let me tell you how Trump was so gangster with it, man. And he's a piece of you know what. Mm-hmm. But what he did was he was forward thinking. Mm-hmm. He knew he was a criminal. Mm-hmm. The biggest thing that he did, he appointed the most judges in the history.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
The most judges in the history, because he knew something that he did was going to come out.
Yep.
So he was betting on the legality to let him off, because don't forget who put you there.
Yep.
That's that he's a straight gangster, bro.
Politics. He learned from the best.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I've never seen anything like this though. He has been very strategic in all his
Hell
moves.
yeah.
And not only that, to your point, let me piggyback off that, Trey. Not only did he appoint all the judges everywhere they could probably build a case on, but what happens when you can appeal something? Guess who owns the highest court in the land? The Supreme Court. And he put people in position.
He put
that man playing chess, not checkers.
Absolutely.
So I'm like,
he's forward thinking.
Yeah,
he's forward thinking.
Very much so. Very much so. So like, I just think they're trying to get him out of the running, because if he runs,
they're trying to get him out of the running. It's going to be a problem.
Yep.
It's going to be a problem.
Yep.
Oh, that's the bottom line. Now, for time's sake, I ain't gonna lie, y'all. I do got some other hot topics.
Mm-hmm. Do you think?
But we get ready to get into this UFO thing, man. Because
shit.
Yeah. No, because this was the title of the pod.
Yeah.
And unless y'all want to touch on the other stuff, let me know.
Man.
What's up with y'all?
I mean, whatever. Let's go.
What you want to do, man?
Let's just touch on stuff. We can touch.
Let's touch on stuff.
Or do y'all have a lot to say about the alien stuff? Because is it going to cover the next half hour?
I mean, listen. The only thing I was going to say about the aliens was a time when I got abducted. But go ahead, we'll talk about it later.
Hey, man, to be continued.
All right, well,
we gotta talk about what's going on in the world.
All right, so we can pick up on that later. I thought T Streets and AG was really excited about that.
I'm excited.
I didn't want to, skip over.
But I wanted to get everything else.
Yeah,
all right. Well, let's get
it. That's we got a lot to talk about, bro.
Let's get it. Let's so do it. The next thing I'm gonna go to is Jonathan Majors, right? And he's been in the news lately. Now, Jonathan Majors is an African American actor, and he's been in a lot of stuff. But lately, the thing that most that everybody would know is Creed.
Yep.
So
Creed
right
3.
Creed 3.
Creed 3. Jay.
Starring Michael B. Jordan. I guess he was the co-star, right? And it's funny because I saw Creed 3, and me looking at the movie, I don't know why, it made me pay attention to Jonathan Majors more. And it seems like since that movie, he's been getting more pub. And then I started remembering
Spotlight.
the other stuff I've seen him in.
And
he's a dope ass actor, right?
Yeah.
But
yes, he is.
I don't know if it's coincidence or what happens when your stardom starts to rise, but he has been, his girlfriend has said that he allegedly put hands on her. I got thinking the back of an Uber. If y'all correct me if I'm wrong, and I'm not laughing like it's like
no, correct.
But I'm just saying that they said that he got hands put on him. I mean, he put his hands on her. She's recanting, saying that it didn't happen. I don't know, man. If y'all looked into this, do y'all know about this?
I heard about it. Go ahead, AG.
No, go ahead. T, you got to say something because I know you're itching. You're itching to say something.
Yeah, it came out. The news broke, and the first thing I thought was, "Damn,
right?
This is messed up." Yeah. But at the same time, I thought, this might not be true. I'm not going to condemn them yet because sometimes these allegations are false. Sometimes they're not. It's hard to choose a side. Like, you want to rock with the woman, you want to, but then you got some out here that lie so much that it's hard to do that. And like you said, she recanted the statements. The lawyer put out copies of
Yeah, some
the
shit
text
that they
messages
saying
or something
may
today?
even may hurt him or something. So I don't know.
Yeah.
Nah,
No,
the
there's.
lawyer, his lawyer
Yep.
just put out something. I'll credit
Mm-hmm.
the YouTube page, the Cosmic Wonder, who he's a Marvel insider.
Okay.
And Jonathan Majors playing Kang in Marvel
Yup.
right now. He's the big deal. He's the big bad of the Marvel.
Mhm.
So if something happened to him, it's shutting production down.
True.
Yup.
You know, they got to go in a whole new direction. Now,
Mhm.
whether he did it or not, I don't know. But for the sake of exploring the mind, I'm gonna say he did that shit. I'm gonna say Marvel
Making
put
that
the
go away.
bags up to the lady
Yep.
to
Yep.
recant her statement.
Yep.
She recanted her statement. Marvel
possible.
got that person there,
Mhm.
and Hollywood has him in a headlock because they just saved his life.
True.
Now they got him in a headlock. He
So
got
you
to
think
do
it's
what
gonna
he
go away? T, you think that? So do you think
It's going
Absolutely.
away.
Okay.
It's going away.
Hey,
Okay.
Yo.
Too much
y'all
money.
know,
Okay.
y'all
Too much
know
money
about
out
that,
of
that
Okay.
you know about the Bama named Ezra that plays the Flash?
Yeah.
You know
Yeah,
all the
this
stuff
shit
he's been going
sick.
through, and Warner Brothers threw
Hey.
the bag to make these things go away.
Hey,
There's
hold on.
video
Yeah.
evidence.
Hey, hold on. Everybody relax. It's this one person on earth. It's this one guy. It's one person. His name is Robert Downey freaking Jr.
Hmm.
Do you know that this dude was the most criminal dude on the face? This dude been in court more than Trump, and he's freaking Iron Man.
Mm-hmm.
This is nothing.
Mm-hmm.
This is
Make that go away.
if the young folks who love Iron Man Google Robert Downey Jr. from 1988 to 1994,
Mm-hmm.
he's been through everything, every court case, everything. This is nothing. This is nothing.
Slap
What-
on the wrist,
what-
John. Okay.
Nothing. What happened to Dana White with the UFC? He's on video smacking this girl in the
On
club,
video. Yeah.
and he's promoting the next fight like it never happened.
Yeah. Hold on, but let's look at the difference between who you just spoke about.
Absolutely, black guy, white guy.
You
But
dig what I'm saying?
what I'm looking at is money,
With video
money,
footage.
and
Yeah.
corporations.
Well, I don't. Yeah, but look at Ray Rice, right? I think that's the gentleman's name. That
Yeah.
put hands on his
Well,
woman.
Yeah, but
He was
yeah,
going to get
Aaron.
off until the video came out.
Exactly.
True.
You're right.
Very
You're right.
true.
You're right.
Because the corporations saw the video, saw what happened. They suspended him, and they let it go. Right. It wasn't
Yeah.
until the public saw that and said,
Public-
"What in the world is this? How can y'all let that be? You're supposed to be the family, league, and look what you're allowing." You know what I mean?
Yep.
So you got to follow the money. How much, like Trey
Elevator.
said.
Shout out the whole for not, for letting Solange beat him up in the elevator and
100.
not giving her the uppercut.
Hey,
like Ray
shout
Rice.
out to the beta, the
And
King
no,
Beta.
and shout out. No, but I actually shout
No,
out
100.
to them all keeping it they mouth shut.
In house, yeah, keeping it in house,
and keeping it in house.
yeah, keeping it.
Well-
I agree. No, 100. He's almost
It's in the
teeter-tottering
music.
the alpha, and that was very alpha of him.
Of
Very
to do that.
uncharacteristic. You know what I mean? And then, but I would say, shout out to Hov because he created a masterpiece, which was 444, and his wife created a masterpiece as well.
It was okay.
based
I
on this.
mean,
So
I wouldn't say it's a masterpiece. It's all right.
But look,
Here we
hey,
go.
greatest promotion. That was a
Yeah,
great
yo,
promotion,
the
bro.
promotion
You
was
can't buy
dope.
that
But I
promotion.
mean, no, you're absolutely correct. But the album,
Well, with
Let
that,
the Beehive hear you.
Well, with
Let them
that-
hear you, boy.
this next thing that I'm gonna get into, I don't know why I think of AG when I think of this subject,
Uh-oh.
and I'm gonna let him lead it off because I
I'm
don't know
scared.
much about it. The banking
Oh.
collapse 2023.
yeah.
I'm glad you think of money when you think of me.
I do. I don't know why. When I think of money, I think of AG. I'm gonna just keep it a buck, man. So, the banking collapse 2023.
Mhm.
Can you give us a little background on what's going on and what you feel about it?
All right. So first things first, right? You to understand now, you have to look before. So everybody should definitely research the Great Depression and what caused the Great Depression. Essentially, stocks crashed and everybody wanted to pull out their money from banks. Bank run, right? That's the definition of a bank run is when in excess of customers' withdrawals beyond a deposit taking institution's availability for liquidity. So basically, if you have $100, you got 300 people, and everybody wants to get the money at once, and you have it invested in mortgages, securities, treasury bonds, and things of that nature, and you don't have the money and everybody wants the money, you can't pay it back. Those kids, hey, you can't pay it back, and you don't have your money that you gave this institution. Because what most people don't know is that banks take your money that you bank with, whether it be in savings account or whatever, and they invest that money. So basically, they're compiling all the money you got, using it as collateral against whatever the rate is at the time. So if the interest rate is 0 or 1%, then they start lending the money to you. When they're getting at 1%, that's where they make their margins. On top of that, when they're buying those houses, those are assets under the bank's name, not your name. It becomes your house when you pay off the bank. So assets and all of that good stuff, they diversify on mortgages, they diversify on treasury-backed bonds and things of that nature. Now, what caused this was SVB, because it was easy money, low federal rates, money was cheap. They decided to stay too long on treasury securities and mortgage-backed securities. Why that needs to be looked at, and I don't want to speak too much too fast because, again, Google is your friend. Just look at the fact that interest rates have been going up.
Right.
And this is affecting banks who are not diversified. Now, one thing you need to understand also, that yes, this is happening, but people are not going to be in the Usain Bolt category where their money is just gone. It's going to be that certain amount of their money is going to be backed by the government. The FDIC, I think, insures up to $250,000. Now, obviously, these were high net worth individuals, Silicon Valley, $250K, a lot of money that they're going to guarantee. Now, that might not be 1/4 of what these people have, but at least it's something. But what happens is it's a domino effect, right? Because what I think people need to realize is what created the bank run was people on social media jumping on and say, hey, y'all, they're messing up in the background. Take your money out now or else you won't be able to get your money. So the fear of missing out of your own money happened, and everybody tried to pull out at
FOMO.
once. That's what caused a problem, right? Because this is all psychology. At the end of the game, markets, everything, it's all a con game.
Absolutely.
But what happened is they show you these things to make you believe that everything is secure when it's not.
So AG, so I'm gonna add a little piece. I'm gonna add a little piece, and then I want you to finish it off, right?
Yep.
So it says often a financial crisis is caused by overvalued assets, systemic and regulatory failures, and resulting consumer panic, such as a large number of customers withdrawing funds from the bank after learning of the institution's financial troubles.
That bank run.
Right? The bank run. Some believe that the financial crises are an inherent feature of how modern capitalist economies function, where the business cycle fuels speculative growth during economic booms, only to be met by contractions and recession. During these contractions, borrowers default on their loans and creditors tighten their lending criteria. So that's to add to what you're saying.
Yeah. So essentially what it is that when you need to get a loan, now you're going to have to jump through more hoops, right? You're going to have more assets. They're going to have to cover their bets because what they want to do is mitigate the risk or lower the risk, right? Now, why that's important to know is that now what happened? HSBC, you have all these other banks like, oh, who's going to be next? Who's going to be this? Who's going to be that? What this is when we used to have our stock talks on a weekly basis, I was telling you that during the recession, what's going to happen is those companies that have liquidity or have the cash money to buy out these smaller companies or these poorly run companies that are still valuable, but they just can't keep things running, they're going to buy it at a discount when crisis happens. SVB was bought out. HSBC was bought out. All these other banks, you're going to see more companies and banks go under at a discount because they over leveraged or they didn't diversify or whatever the case is, poor management, whatever the case is. But This is by design, and I want the listeners to understand this. This is all directly because of the interest rates going up.
Yep.
And the government told you that they will be doing this because of inflation.
Mm-hmm.
So now, everybody who's listening, pay attention. All these jobs that are happening to be laid off 6 months prior, they were begging for people and overhiring, quote unquote, and overspending. And these are not like people that have never done this before. These are corporations that have a long track record of success. So this is by design because they can't afford everybody having money, point blank. Because if everybody has money, then everything goes up as far as inflation. Pricing goes up, goods go up, then we start looking like Venezuela. And that's what they're trying to avoid. So this is by design, and that's why the Fed is like, good, there's going to be more. They're flat out telling you.
It's also by design that the banking system will never go under.
Never.
The government will always bail it out
Mm-hmm.
because if the government really let some of these banks go under, or if other banks didn't step in to purchase the bank that, one of the 3 banks that have went bankruptcy or on the brink of bankruptcy, then it will. You talk about a wide spread of people just taking their money out of the banks. It'll collapse the whole currency system in the United States. And the one thing that the powers that be want, they want to continue to maintain control. Control in a way, keep your money in the bank so they can make more money off of it, because they're not giving you much off of your money. You're making 0.0001%.
Absolutely.
Money you leave
Don't
the
keep
bank.
your money in the damn bank.
Well, I mean, it's like this. I mean, I think you should diversify, right? That's where you need to have
Absolutely.
You need to have several streams
That's the
of
key.
income. But like I recommend
about
people, if a lot of this stuff is going fast, slow it down. Watch Wall Street 2. Now, me and Trey talk about this all the time. I love Wall Street 2 because Wall Street 2 had this exact same thing happen in Wall Street 2. So if you really want to know what's happening, look at this. It's a
Or The
great
Big
movie.
Short.
The Big Short is another prime example of what you should do.
Yo, The Big Short is a fantastic movie to watch about
but
this.
The difference though, why I don't think that there's going to be too many banks. I think more private corporations are going to start going under, like left and right. And some names you would never think of are going to go under. I don't think in the next 5 years things are going to look the same as they do now, especially with all the major players. But that old money is licking its chops because they're going to start getting things on discount. Point blank.
Absolutely.
And I don't think it's going to be like 2008 with the crisis, because all of that was tied into the subprime mortgages, and when the rates
Subprime mortgages.
You know what I mean? Once
Absolutely.
that volatility happened, like I don't think it's too many people jumped out the window, but I think that there's a correction happening, and this is what happens. Those that didn't play by the rules that they should, they didn't diversify. They thought it was going to continuously run up. They're losing their shirts. Same thing with the stock market. You know what I mean? So, understand when it's time to buy, hold, and sell. All it is to it.
And educate yourself on it. Like
100.
they bet on the emotion.
Yep.
Right? They bet on the emotion other than you studying and understanding what you're doing. And sometimes waiting is the best thing to do.
Yep.
Right? Being a smart buyer. They're betting on your emotion. They're betting on you.
They're
right?
starting the rumors.
So
man.
I want to add it to.
They start the rumors. They create the panic. Sometimes when everybody's
Absolutely.
panicking, be still. When everybody
still.
thinks it's okay, that's when you make moves. Oftentimes the best time to buy real estate is when there's blood on the streets.
There's when there's blood on the street.
You know what I mean? So you have to understand that. You really have to understand that. And don't go too far in one thing. Don't go all in one thing, because if it don't pan out, it never works. But I'll say this, and T brought up a good point. They need the money to be worth something, because at the same time, guess what's been going up and nobody's talking about is crypto. Cryptocurrency. People been betting, when everybody wouldn't touch it with a 10-foot pole, now that's starting to make a lot of sense.
And that's because of this bank stuff going down.
Correct.
And that's because of the bank,
going up.
Correct.
For sure.
One thing has to do with the other. One hand washes the other.
Well, I'm gonna ask y'all. I'm gonna get into some sports, man. I don't know if y'all watch. I don't know if who is into. college basketball. Me personally,
Hell yeah.
back when the when players would stay, 3 or 4 years,
Yeah.
and they were more
Yeah.
known, I was
Yeah.
more into it. Now players leave the first year, you know what I mean? So I
Right,
don't keep
right.
up with
One and
it.
done.
But
Right.
a lot of people who don't keep up with it are still into the March Madness, right?
Man, this
The
shit is crazy.
NCAA tournament. Now, this
I
has
love it.
been one of the craziest tournaments,
best one.
probably
It's been the
up
best
to
one.
date, because what's happened in this NCAA tournament, the men's NCAA tournament anyway, is a lot of
Shit is
mid-major
dope.
schools are beating the big schools.
Mm.
Mhm.
And why that
Beautiful.
is, I
Love
don't
it.
know. But this
I'm gonna tell
year-
you why.
Tell-
All right, so the reason why that's happening is because of you have so many travel leagues. What's the name of the league, T?
You
Shit.
talking about
It just-
AAU?
Yeah, you right,
AAU.
AAU.
Okay. Right. So AAU, right? Where if me and you are neighbors and me and you, we grew up balling together, right? But it's
Mhm.
so many AAU teams where you might play for a rival team than me, but that's just AAU. But me and you play the same high school team, right? So it's so much different exposure where we're traveling. So we're going to different states every other week. We traveling. We in Tennessee. We in Texas. We in Jersey. We in Philly. You have so much exposure. You have so many other teams, so many other coaches that are looking at you. But you might your dream. You might have wanted to go play for Maryland, but Maryland might have got your boy. But you want to
Yeah,
start.
it's oversaturated. It's
Thank you.
oversaturated.
So,
it's oversaturated.
Right. So instead of you going to Maryland or Georgetown or Virginia, you going to San Diego State and you going to start and you a star out there. You a star.
Yeah,
Right?
You know
Who's
what
coming to
though?
Georgetown?
But look, but another thing too. Now you right. That is, when I noticed that a lot of kids are more skilled. A lot
Yes,
of kids
there
growing
you
up
go.
now,
Coaches.
they
Camp,
start
basketball camps. Yep.
They start earlier and they start working on their skills at a very
Yes,
young
sir.
age. So
Yes,
it's
sir.
making it more
Yes,
of an
sir.
even playing field. But
Yes, sir.
another thing is that you got to look at it like this, right? And let's just be realistic. If I'm a number 1 seed, right,
Mhm.
and I'm getting ready to play a number 15 or 16 seed, you can say what you want, but you're going to sleep on them a little bit.
You gonna overlook them.
You're not going to be like, you know what, y'all, we got to,
Absolutely.
you
Confidence.
got to think about it. When you winning and you at a big school, you got a certain swag with you. You got a certain confidence with you. And
Ego is the
into
enemy.
when they're going
Ego
into
is
these
the enemy.
into these
Underdog.
games, they are thinking that we get ready to crush these teams. And because you know what happens? This is the crazy part that happens sometimes. The high seed will beat the number 1 seed, and then the next game they get smoked.
It's psychological.
And that's because the next team is not taking them lightly. They like, okay,
Yes.
you beat the number
Yes.
1 team, y'all are not a game. We're going to really prepare
Yes.
for y'all. And then they beat them the way the first team was supposed to beat them. And I think
Bro.
it's psychological. It's hard to get past it. It's hard to get up for a game.
It's hard to get up.
When you know
You right,
that
E.
we're going to smoke y'all. This ain't
Bro.
nothing. This a warm up. And then it don't go the way that you think.
Bro, I'm gonna tell y'all a 10-second story. A 10-second story about just about that. It happens on every level, right? It happens in but especially in sports. Man, I've been coaching young kids since 2006, 2007, right? Man, we had the best team two years ago, the best flag team. We were smoking the team they didn't even have enough kids to practice, bro. We would let them come to our practice because they just wanted to learn from us. We beating people by 30. Okay. Our kids got so cocky. We played the same team that we were helping. In the playoffs, we didn't score 1 point. We were beating them by 30 every time we played them. But you want to know what happened throughout the week? The ego. Our kids practicing touchdown dances before the game. Before the game.
And they was getting together so when they
Bro, but you want to know what the other team was doing? They were practicing every day against a team that beat them previously by 30. They wanted to beat us so bad, bro. And they wound up beating us. Not only did they beat us, they won the freaking championship.
Dang.
They won the freaking check. So that just shows you it's all psychological. So this tournament is great to me because it's all about dudes that, man, they giving 1,000%. They wanted to be at those schools that they beat. You know what I'm saying? But it's so psychological, bro. That's why, to me, this is the best tournament, man. I've been watching all the games. I can't wait to watch the rest of the joints on Saturday, bro.
T Streets, you've been looking
I
at it,
can't
you've
wait.
been keeping up with it, or never?
This is probably the first year in like 5-6 years that I've got a doorbell.
Hey,
Somebody got somebody slide through. It's 9 o'clock.
Hey, my man,
Somebody slide through.
Hey, how y'all hear that? That's crazy, bro. That's my daughter messing with the door. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I'm
I
sorry.
know.
I'm
Tell
sorry.
me all about it.
I'm sorry to our 15 million listeners from Antarctica.
Hey, tell me all about it. Sound like somebody slide
Hey, let me
through.
go on mute, baby.
Mm-hmm.
But nah, T, so you said you have been checking it out?
It's my first time in like 5 years that I've paid attention to the tournament. Mainly because the number ones are all gone.
True.
As soon as the first number one went down, I said, all right, I'm gonna watch. I'm actually gonna watch. I'm not gonna wait. Actually, I take that back. I don't really watch the whole games. I'll watch the last 8 minutes of games.
Yeah, man, this shit
I
been
can't watch
good,
basketball
bro.
anymore.
This shit
Yeah.
been so good, man.
But I don't agree with your take of the guys going to the smaller schools, want to be at the big schools. I don't agree with that 100% because San Diego State has been a good program for years.
No, for sure.
Yeah,
for sure
sis,
with that one.
UConn-
With that one, yeah.
UConn has been a great program for years.
That's
Miami
true.
has been better,
Mm-hmm.
and this is their biggest. Last year they was Elite Eight.
But those are the big schools, though. Still, though, those are
Yeah,
that
but-
mid majors. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
But Miami,
yeah, but that's not for football, not basketball.
yeah.
True,
Miami's
but
not a
it's,
basketball school.
Not at all.
So
Mm-hmm.
what they're doing
a
is
football
unprecedented, but they they showed signs last year going to the Elite Eight. A couple years ago, they made it to Sweet 16, I believe, a
Yeah.
few years back.
Yeah,
So they've been better. And who's the fourth team?
it's UConn.
Who?
It's UConn. It's Miami, and it's I got it right here.
And
San Diego State and
who are they
I
going
can't
against?
think of the last team.
hold on, I got it. It's Florida Atlantic.
Florida,
The
that's
Beach
shock.
Boys. The Beach
That's the
Boys. They
shock
said
of the
call us the
tournament.
Beach Boys.
Oh
That's
yeah,
the shock of the
that
tournament, but-
is.
The
I
Beach
want to say
Boys,
they're
yeah.
undefeated. I think they're undefeated on the year, or
Oh
Nah.
no, I don't think they're
Nah.
undefeated on
They're
the year.
Nah.
They got
I think that they were 33-3.
okay. I know they had like the most wins or something.
Yeah,
but,
bro. They a good team.
Now that's a good team. I'm hoping to see a Miami versus FAU finals, but I like San Diego State. I picked San Diego State to go to Final Four. So
When you picked them to go to
they
the
didn't
Final Four,
surprise me. I picked them when I filled out my bracket. Was all
Oh.
messed up.
man, you a bad boy.
See, I don't believe that. I don't believe it.
Yeah, hey, you
Oh,
a bad
The
boy.
screenshot.
Hey, listen.
Hey, you a
listen,
bad
I'm
boy.
gonna tell you something else. I'm gonna tell you something else. For my women's bracket, I'm in this $25,000. I think it's CBS or ESPN,
night.
one of their tournaments. I got the whole Final Four on the women's bracket.
Hey,
I'm in
T,
like I got
at
it.
this
Hey.
part, you're gonna have to show me because I think you. I don't know what's going on.
Oh,
right
you think
now.
I'm
Hey,
capping?
Yeah, I think.
Hey,
I don't
hey, but the
know.
crazy
believe it.
part, hey,
believe him.
but check this out. But check this out about my man Gino from the women's UConn. This is the first.
Now before,
this is
don't
the-
let me cut you off. Say
Go
that
ahead, go
after
ahead.
this.
Go ahead.
I'm
Go
gonna
ahead.
say that what's fucked up is that I don't watch none of the women's shit. Go ahead.
No,
Nah, the
no,
women
no,
are
no,
like-
Go ahead, my
no,
bad.
no,
No, go ahead, go ahead.
This is the crazy part
That's
about.
nasty,
No,
though.
this is the crazy part. What he's saying. A lot of, unless your daughter go to the school, a lot of people don't. You know what I'm saying? But the point is this. The point is Gino Auriemma is such a legendary coach at UConn. You would watch women's college just to see if UConn going to win or lose. Check this stat out. It's 2023. This is the first time since 2007 that Gino Auriemma is not in the freaking Final Four. That's how good of a coach Gino Auriemma
So
is.
is she a good coach or is it that
It's a dude.
It's a
Oh,
dude.
my
It's a
Hey,
guy.
what I tell y'all? I don't know.
Hey.
All right, so look. Hey, look. So look. So is he a good coach, or does he
Man,
get
bro,
all the
he's
good,
legendary.
or does he get all the good recruits because he's been winning? So now it gets a
Both.
little easier.
Little
Both.
bit of A, little bit of B.
Both.
I'm just talking shit. I don't know,
The
but
homegirl,
Nah, both. No, both,
Don,
bro.
the former
But
WNBA
But Don
player,
Staley? Don
Don Staley
Staley?
got the team in South Carolina.
Bruh.
They
Bruh.
they
Bruh.
undefeated. Now they're undefeated. They're gonna lose
Yes.
tomorrow night, but they
You
undefeated.
think so, T? Oh, nah. Come on.
Oh nah,
Come on, T. She
that
about to get a
Steph
different chip,
that,
T.
that Steph Curry white girl
I'm
on Iowa.
gonna watch it. I'm watching it.
That girl,
I'm watching it. Nah, but bro. First of all, the WNBA, they were just talking about how much more skilled the women's teams are now than how they used to be. They're like, yo, they way more skilled. 3-pointers, passing, scoring. Right now, you know what I'm saying. So I do watch women's basketball, not a lot, but I know the players. But you got a lot more skilled players now than ever.
I used to feel like there was no woman that could probably beat me 1-on-1, man. I used to feel like that.
Yeah, but
used
it's
to
a
feel
lot of
like
women though.
Oh no, they cook. No, they cook. I'm just telling you
never
that I
seen
used
Love
to
and
feel like
Basketball.
that.
That's what it
Now,
is.
now,
True,
I don't
true,
hoop no more. I'm
true.
just telling you, in my mind, I had this. What
I
you
hoop,
call
bro.
it?
I hope,
Now,
bro.
now the
You had
thing. I don't
you
know
had
if
a
it's
male
feminist.
chauvinist.
Yeah, I had a male show. It's like it's just no way. It's no way that I can let a female beat me 1-on-1. And I probably was tripping, but in my mind, I just felt like that.
In your
You know
He
what
will
I'm
be
saying?
fouling
Yeah,
her.
man.
He will be fouling her. Prison
I don't know.
foul.
I don't
Flagrant.
know what that's about.
Bill and B.
Flagrants.
But women are a little
With the
more
mask.
skilled. So look, so we got one more topic. Do y'all want to hit this John Moran thing, or do y'all want to go to the? Y'all got to talk to me, man.
Ja. Let's
go
talk
to-
about Ja.
Man,
All right,
man,
so-
let them go to the aliens,
aliens.
bro. Go to the aliens,
all
bro.
right, come
John
on.
Moran, John Moran already back in the league, bro.
All right, hey, look. So I ain't
let's
want
do it.
I ain't want to skip it. Then y'all say, man, why you ain't
Yeah,
touching
go ahead,
it,
go ahead,
right?
go ahead.
So since we moving forward on that, right? So in so I'm gonna start off like this. In January, the Pentagon released a long-awaited 2002 UFO report. And basically, by them releasing that is basically them saying that some of the videos that we've seen on the internet are actually real. They're saying that UFOs are real, which I think that they've been real and they've been on this for years. But okay, they putting it out now saying that that some of the stuff we've seen is real, right? And so, with that being the case, they also put something out saying that they believe there's a mothership and the stuff that they shot down may be probes from the mothership and all this type of stuff. Now, I believe that my personal belief is that UFOs are real and that they have been visiting, or maybe they live here. I don't know. So what I'm gonna do is just give a little background on the first kind of documented situation where someone seen the UFO. This comes from the history.com site. So this ain't something I made up. This is where I got this information from, right? So it says that the first well-known UFO sighting occurred in 1947 when a businessman, Kenneth Arnold, claimed to see a group of 9 high-speed objects near Mount Rainier in Washington while flying his small plane. Arnold estimated the speed of the crescent-shaped objects at several thousand miles per hour and said they moved like saucers skimming on water. In a newspaper report that followed, it was mistakenly stated that the objects were saucer-shaped, hence the term flying saucer. So I guess that's where they got that term from, right? Then that same year, a lot of people who are into this know about the Roswell UFO incident. So that same year that Arnold saw the flying objects, Mac Brazel came across a mysterious 200-yard long wreckage near an Army airfield in Roswell, New Mexico. Local papers reported it was the remains of a flying saucer. The U.S. military issued a statement saying that it was just a weather balloon, which I don't believe. Right. I've looked into that. I looked into it like I'm some investigator, but I've read up on some of the stuff, and I do believe that it really was a UFO crash. My question to you all, and whoever want to answer can go. My first question is: do you believe in UFOs or aliens? Do you think they're real? And have you had any experiences your own self? And anybody can go.
Yes, yes, and yes.
Get to it.
Okay. Yes, I believe that they're real. I've always, I won't say always, but for most of my life, I've always thought that there was other life on the planet. I've even went so far. I went down the Google and YouTube rabbit hole of learning about the lizard people and all the different species of aliens that are supposedly on Earth now. I went down this rabbit hole and then I stopped myself because I felt me starting to feel a little too conspiracy theorist person, and I'm already that. And I felt myself going too far and about to become obsessed with it. So I had to stop and chill. But I do believe that aliens are real. I believe they're living amongst us, and that's just a fact. Or well, not a fact, but I believe it's a fact. Now I've had a sighting. It was 4 in the morning. It was about three something in the morning because I was headed to work when I was working, going at 4 in the morning, and this had to be 2008, 2009. I had three other people in the car with me. Driving my 97 Maxima, headed to work.
Gold joint, famous.
Green.
Green. That's what I said. Green.
And everybody's asleep. I got the sunroof open. Everybody's asleep. I'm the only one on the road. There's nobody on 495. There's nobody on 495. I'm near the Tyson's exit. I'm headed to 270 because it was a job out in Maryland that I had to hit. So we're around that Tyson's area in that area. Nobody's on the road with me, and I just see some lights, and then it turned into like a string of lights. It was this oblong shaped thing flying, hovering. And it was kind of low. And I'm looking at it, and the light's bright. It's shining on the road. It wasn't really shining on my car, but it's shining on the road. I'm looking at it. I can't say anything. I got 3 people in the car asleep. I can't say nothing to any of them. I don't know. It's like my whole everything froze. And I'm driving. I'm slowing down driving. I probably broke down to like 15 miles an hour because I'm the only one out there. And I'm just looking up. I look up for about 15 seconds. And then next thing I know, this thing is gone. It's like it scooted out of there. And then everybody wakes up. And then I telling everybody what happened. And they're like, nah, that didn't happen, Terrence. You tripping. That was a plane. That was this. That was that. I said, no, it was not. That was not a military plane. That was not a regular plane. That was a fucking UFO.
Hey, bro. Hey, the funniest shit about all these sightings is that it's no proof. Hey, bro.
Hey, no, Trey. I'm gonna tell you this though. Bro. So
Here go another one.
Here you go. Right. So, I was coming out. I was in my house, and this was like 2 years ago, and I was. It was like 3 a.m, right? And I heard this noise. And I don't even know what woke me up. So I get out of my bed and I go to my porch, right?
Uh-huh.
I go in my backyard, right? And I see this shape. And it looked like a small, like a round head with like big eyes, right? And the joint, I promise you, dog, the joint was like, you gonna do a podcast one day. But it was talking to me. It was
Junior.
To me.
Was that Junior talking to you?
No, I didn't know what it was. No. The joke was talking to me like through telepathy and was like, "You're gonna do a podcast one day." No, I'm bullshit. But
hey, bro.
no. On some serious, I'm bullshitting with that. But on some serious, in 1994, now this is not nothing I went through, but in 1994 in Zimbabwe. It was a landing, right? And that happened in Zimbabwe. Now, this out of everything that's happened or that I've read and seen, this is like the realest what I've seen and heard in terms of everybody's joints, right? So it was a landing in Zimbabwe. It was at a school. The kids were
Mm.
outside and teachers were outside, right? The kids saw the landing and they said that the beings got off and they were basically speaking to them through telepathy. Now I'm looking at this and they're interviewing the kids, and the kids were saying that they were saying things to them like protect the planet, talking to them about pollution and stuff like that. Like little words was coming to their mind. Now, why this one is so believable is because they had all the kids draw what they saw.
Mm-hmm.
And all the kids drew the same thing and drew the aliens themselves, bro.
Okay.
Now, this is documented. This is something that I looked at that you could see.
Right.
20 years go by, and now the kids are adults. And they interview them again, and they give the same account and the same story, bro.
Yeah, bro.
That's the realest one that I seen and I heard. You know what I mean?
I totally believe that. Like, how naive are we to think that, and how arrogant are we to think that we're we are beings. Like we're beings. So like, yo, like it's a whole freaking solar system where other life forms could have lived or are living, whatever. So who are we to say that we're the only one? You got birds, you have animals, you have so many other different life forms that are already here. So who is anybody to be like, yeah, well, we're the only ones, and that's that. Like you had people who worked at Roswell that will tell you like, yo, yeah, this is what they found, and we still can't explain it, and they've been studying it. And it was, you got certain people that worked at Roswell that was not even allowed to go into certain rooms because of what was in there, and they will tell you about the test that they would do on these objects, right? And so, like Jeremy Corbell, he's a filmmaker. He reported just in 2016 the first official released video of a UAP, unidentified aerial phenomena, over a conflict zone in Iraq. However, the authenticity of the video has yet to be verified. Like the military video caught an unexplained flying object on its camera. Right?
They say they hover over military bases
all the time.
Yeah, so
especially
nuclear sites. And Congress's recent report cannot explain the remaining 171 UAPs. So that's just one. They can't explain the other 171. So it's umpteen sightings that they're like, yeah, we can't even explain what the hell that was. So yeah, next question. You know what I'm saying? They can't explain it because they don't know.
I believe that more is known than what they tell us. I really honestly do. I think that there's a lot known. It's just not known to the public. But AG, what you got? I know this was a topic you really was wanting to speak on.
So I'm gonna zoom out to zoom in, right? So, you know, I understand what you're saying about, you know, the first reported crash landing. You know, that's for the U.S. side of things. We forget that. How is it that Egypt, Thailand, Mexico, South America all have pyramids, and they're all in a sophisticated manner aligned with the stars? Stuff we can't even do now with modern machinery. They did, quote unquote, without machinery, right? Now, why is it that every civilization known to man, ancient and not, speak about a sky people? They were obsessed with
The sky people, absolutely.
You know what I mean? That's the gods that they worship, right? Now, I think why this stuff is coming out now and they can't deny it anymore, funny enough, started because of an insurance scam. So did you know that the video started becoming more prevalent because Russia had a problem with car insurance scams, where people were saying that they got involved in a car accident and they just had to pay out people money and all this other stuff, and these things wouldn't happen. So what they started doing by law was that you had to have cameras, like dash cams, in Russia. And what ended up happening is that while people were driving, they would say, hey, I saw this thing, and they were like, yeah, whatever. And to your point, Trey, there was proof given. Multiple people with multiple videos of the exact same thing and same phenomenon happened over and over again. And look what happens now. The military is admitting things that have already been happening. So they have footage now. They have footage that they're releasing and saying, okay, you got me. Yeah, we're going to do an investigation. And when there's supposed to be a committee, all this other stuff that finally is supposed to come out. And of course, they're not going to declassify this stuff because.
Well, they have already. They've already
to a degree.
declassified stuff.
No, 100, but I don't think to the degree that the full truth is known, because there's a lot out there. Like, we know more about space than we know our own ocean.
It's a lot more, bro.
Like, there's a lot more. And do I think that the governments or everybody kind of knows? I would highly suggest you look at former military, former higher ups, kind of like letting the cat out of the bag. In particular, the Israeli government. There's a few government officials. Now, again, this isn't like National Enquirer. These are people who are credited people with a long, outstanding career saying, hey, y'all, there's something there that y'all need to be aware of.
Right. It's not like the Chinese balloon. You know what I mean? Okay, it's I know what that is. I'm shooting that down.
Right.
Every other unexplained flying whatever.
You can't shoot.
You can't shoot.
It moves in an awkward manner, and that's what's been getting people's attention. That they were first saying, well, that's got to be the Russian technology, Chinese technology. No, it's not. Because you think that they had stuff like that, they wouldn't be using it right this second. Right.
What's the best alien movie? What's the best alien movie, though?
Oh, wow. Probably Alien.
Yo, Alien is crazy, yo, but Signs is off the chain. Signs is scary as hell, bro. With Mel Gibson in the cornfield.
Oh man, you got
where the alien walked past it. What?
Yeah, that was scary. Yeah, that was good.
Bruh.
That was good.
Do y'all think that that Area 51? I know we know Area 51 exists, but do y'all think that they have craft there that they work?
Absolutely.
Have y'all ever heard of Bob Lazar?
Bob Lazar. Yep. I heard of Bob Lazar.
Absolutely. Okay, so Bob Lazar is also one of the. I don't know his job title. I'm not even going to pretend, but what I will say is his interviews are one of the most legit seeming interviews.
Yeah, bro.
Because he never really claims to have seen the beings, but he claims to have worked on the crafts and the details that he gives. I mean, unless he's just psychotic.
It's impossible.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, no, for real.
Unless he's just psychotic. This motherfucker telling the truth.
His stories, first of all, you got to look at it like this. The stories that he was giving is consistent with science that we're finding now.
Exactly.
Like the stuff that he was saying in the 80s or 90s, that's documented in old newspapers. This isn't somebody going to the internet and photoshopping, right? This is, hey, this is this is that. And then people are like, oh, that's some actual stuff behind it. Because they're just finding out the elements that he was referring to.
Yeah.
They
absolutely.
This is absolutely true.
Hey,
why not just give the people the information? And by the
because
way,
they can't control it.
I've seen it.
They can't control it.
AG, what you saying? Hold up.
I was on vacation. And
shit!
Back me up. When I was on vacation, we were out on the balcony. It was like about 11 o'clock at night, and I look up and I start seeing a light kind of just circling around. Right, so it wasn't as close as what T's situation was. My situation was more looking in the sky and seeing these objects that were almost like chasing each other, but in the way that they were chasing each other, like planes. We all know how planes move and maneuver. This thing was erratic.
Yeah,
and there was no way in hell that was a plane or even lights. You know how they shine lights for the clubs and anything like that light that you see in the sky? That wasn't this. And I like to this day, and I have someone else that can back me up on a claim. And I have people whom I know that have shown me videos of certain phenomena that match what others have shown in Hawaii. So I actually have a copy, and I'll show y'all next time I see y'all the video.
Absolutely.
Because there's something there. And I don't know if they're all the same. I genuinely don't think it's all the same aliens. I think just the same way,
it's different aliens.
There's different aliens from different corners of the galaxies. Because come on, that like you said, Trey, it's very arrogant for us to think that we're
this atmosphere is infinite, and it's just like, okay, it's only gonna be life here, but yet
hell
no. You know what I mean? It's like,
Hey, Jack said that the best alien movie was Coneheads.
He wildin'.
Listen,
Jack is.
I'll take it a step further. I believe that we were the sky people at one point. I
Yeah.
don't believe that we originated on Earth. I don't
Nope.
believe that.
Agreed.
So what you mean by that?
Anunnaki, bro.
That we came from another planet, we destroyed that planet, and then we moved here. And just like we're trying to get off of this planet to find life somewhere else,
That's
I'm
possible.
about to do it again.
That's possible, bro. It could be another world existing like ours somewhere else right now. Like how we talking and partying.
Yeah.
It could be a whole nother galaxy and they partying too.
Hell yeah, bro.
just-
And that's the
you
dope
just
part.
don't know, bro.
That's the
Like,
dope part of
They
it.
heard about the rec room. They heard
Right.
about the rec room.
And the only person that can save us is Will Smith.
Oh, no. We're in trouble. We're in trouble.
For real.
We're in trouble. Jada's the one we gotta talk to.
That's the only nigga that punched an alien in the face, dog. And
Hey.
lived to tell.
and then had a
man,
cigar
no.
in his mouth afterwards.
All right, bro. So I'm gonna
Yeah, man.
end it there, fellas.
Yeah, good pod.
I'm gonna get this music started, and Trey, if you could go ahead and give your shout outs, bro. You did a great job.
Oh man, hey, listen here. I'm gonna say the best for last because this dude get real emotional. You know what I mean? So listen. So we gonna give a shout out to Chance. Chance, thank you for listening to us. Ladybug, I know who you are. Ladybug, I know who you are. Okay, we have Jen Booze Uvu. Jen Booze Uvu. That sound
Dope
like
name.
that sound like an R&B neo soul. You know what I'm saying? Then we have DGI DDASN. That's some next level R&B. You know what I'm saying? Neo soul, right? Then we got my man Boone. My man Boone. We have Nicole Mayfield. I don't know who this lady is. Nicole Mayfield.
Who was that?
She I have no clue. Then I'm gonna say the best for last. Well, actually, I'm not. We have Miss Lizzie White. Thank you so much, Miss Lizzie
Yeah,
White.
She tuned in the last pod.
Yeah,
Miss
Truly
Lizzie
appreciate
White.
it.
We
Truly
truly appreciate you, Miss Lizzie White. And then we got this dude who we need to keep under surveillance 24/7. Mr. Jack himself, who is currently threatening me as I'm giving him a shout out. Hey, ain't that something?
And he also cussed us out on his
He cussed
pod.
us out last week
You know what I'm
on
saying?
his pod. On my way to church. Fantastic pod.
Check it out,
My man,
y'all. Dope.
bruh, my man doing this thing. Fantastic interviews on my way to church. Jack. My man's
sir.
in him. All
Yes,
right.
sir. So we appreciate everybody that tuned in tonight. The pod, you can find the pod on YouTube. You can also find it on Spotify, Amazon Music, Google Pods. Our Instagram is the Rec Room Pod. Follow us on Instagram. If you have any questions, any topics that you all want us to touch on, please let us know. And other than that, we'll see y'all the next time.
We see y'all next time. Peace.
Peace.